Brett Favre, and let's just give credit. Anna Wolf of Mississippi Today has been doing great reporting on this topic, and I've now been seeing her finally getting interviewed by some national NFL sports media publications because this story continues to get more egregious as time goes on. But Brett Favre, as we talked about last week, has the story about him essentially taking millions of dollars from the Mississippi welfare funds in order to not it went right to his into his pocket over $1 million for him to promote this volleyball stadium at his alma mater, but also millions of dollars going into constructing this volleyball arena and I think training facility or something like that. But that's just part of the story apparently because Brett Favre also 2 years later, it seems, according to reporting on the ground, and I think the AP had this story, tried to get additional money for another sports facility 2 years later. So he came back to the well. And he had this relationship with Phil Bryant, who also went to the same college at University of Southern Mississippi. That's both their alma mater. They were in Phil Bryant, who was the governor at the time, working in tandem to funnel money to their college for prestige, for nostalgia, for I don't know, future considerations through this nonprofit they were working with, and they essentially more stories are coming out showing that this was not just a one-off thing for this volleyball stadium. There was also the payment to Brett Favre that now he has returned, but he still has not paid the interest back. And I think that was when this investigation continued to begin ramping up. But that after it happened, Brett Favre tried to go back to the well, as I say. And these messages that are being shown show that Phil Bryant, who was the governor at the time, told Brett Favre this is, quote, tightly controlled and a, quote, improper use could result in violation of federal law. And Favre's lawyer is saying that Favre had no idea where the funds were coming from at the time and that there was no way that he could know that this was illegal. And yet, messages between him and the governor of the state are essentially saying we got to be careful with this because this could be a violation of federal law.
Can I read my favorite segment from this piece from the AP?
Yes, you can.
According to Friday's court documents, Bryant and Favre met September 4th, 2019 with the new Department of Human Services Director, retired FBI agent Christopher Freeze. Favre texted Bryant after the meeting, "We obviously need your help big time, and time is working against us." Favre also mentioned the volleyball facility could be named for Bryant, who was in his final months as governor. Bryant responded, "We are going to get there. This was a great meeting, but we have to follow the law. I am too old for federal prison." He added a smiling emoji with sunglasses.
Winky.
He was like, "Keep it cool, Brett. We got this, dude.
I can't be incarcerated.
Chill out.
Just
chill
kidding,
out.
you know I won't be.
Chill out. We got this, winky face."
I mean, so, and also what is a part of this as well is that the Mississippi Department of Human Services director, former director, John Davis, pled guilty on Thursday to federal charges and state charges about a conspiracy to misuse welfare funds. And this guy was an appointee by Bryant, and he has agreed to testify against other people in this case. Now, I think this spells even worse. This is worse news for Phil Bryant than it is for Brett Favre, because I'm not entirely sure if Davis was connected one-to-one to the Brett Favre scheme in particular, but this testimony could then lead to potentially some charges for Brett Favre himself. Plus, like, it seems like these two guys are not the brightest tools in the shed, and they have a lot of text message evidence backing up their let's do the crimes thing.
Yeah, let's stay tuned for when some of these emails get like FOIA or something, and Phil Bryant is emailing Brett Favre, the crimes we are going to commit. About those crimes we talked about earlier.
Stay tuned. Stay tuned.
Regarding pillaging the Mississippi Welfare Fund for my daughter's volleyball stadium.
Per the time that I literally took Oliver Twist's lunch money for the pool I'm
Please,
constructing in my backyard, could you just like follow up with me on that? I'd like a carbon copy of my stealing. Well, we'll see, but we're definitely going to keep monitoring the story on the show.